Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says that he might find a way to keep Biden off the ballot. Yeah, I'll give you the details of that. Also, Iraq wants the U.S. military out after what just happened. And you may be owed hundreds or thousands of dollars as what just happened. Several different details. I've been keeping you up to date here with new changes for 2024, with new sets of money, new windfalls that are coming as new changes of 2024 with new videos. I'm keeping you up to date here with multiple sets of changes here for 2024. And I'll give you more details here on this with multiple changes here in this video. So let's jump right in. Thank you so much for liking these videos and stay up to date here with our videos by subscribing down below. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's jump right in. Okay, so Florida Governor Ron DeSantis floats the idea of keeping Biden off the Florida ballot as the Supreme Court of the United States, known as SCOTUS, weighs the Trump case. And DeSantis, aka Florida governor, says we're going to fight back. We know that there's multiple states trying to keep Trump off the ballot. Here's what Republican governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, says.
Sir, you had your hand up for a question.
Yeah. Responses to the Colorado Supreme Court taking Trump off the ballot.
Oh yeah. So I think most of you heard Colorado that there were, I guess, 6 Republican voters that filed a lawsuit saying that Trump should be off the ballot because his candidacy violates the 14th Amendment, which was done after the Civil War to basically disable anybody from running who had, quote, participated in rebellion or insurrection. And what they're saying is kind of the whole January 6th makes Trump, so basically this goes up. But there's not been any trial or any guilty finding. They're just saying this from the Colorado Supreme Court. So that's a very dangerous precedent to say that a partisan court can just take somebody off the ballot. You know, it's one thing if somebody had been criminally convicted of those offenses, well, then they could just apply the conviction. That has not happened in this case. And my fear is that Democrat states are going to go and move on this ground to do. Can Republicans, can we just go in and say, you know, take Biden off the ballot? He let in 8 million people illegally into this country. He did not satisfy his oath of office. There's going to likely be terrorist attacks that happen in this country because of who he looked in. So I think it's going to get reversed by the U.S. Supreme Court. But I also think this is the Democrats' playbook for 24. They are going to do all this legal lawfare. They have trials for Trump. They have all this other stuff. The whole election will be about all this stuff if he's the nominee. That's just a fact. I don't think it's fair. I don't think these guys are on the up and up. I think it's politically motivated. I think they're abusing their power. But we win when we make the election about the American people. We win when we hold Biden accountable for his failures. We don't win when the whole election's a referendum on all those other issues and Biden's allowed to just sit in the basement and not have to face any scrutiny. So that's the choice that we have as Republicans going forward. And here's the deal. All the issues where we've seen the DOJ and the politicization and the weaponization, I'm the only guy that can actually fix that and stop it. Because it's not about me. It's about restoring the Constitution and restoring a single standard of justice and protecting you from the abuses of government. I don't think you can be successful and go in if what you're doing is all about your personal retribution. That's just not going to work. That's not how the founders conceived of the presidency. And so I have the opportunity not only to win the election, focus it on the issues, but get in there and actually change all this stuff so that we don't have to worry about this happening again.
Speaking of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis, he wants to, quote, eliminate the IRS and implement a flat tax, but hasn't worked out the details because he says, quote, I would eliminate the IRS and have a single rate and just do a flat tax. That would be the ideal tax system. And he says the IRS is a, quote, corrupt organization, and I would replace it with something totally different, something he said previously that would have lower taxes for everyone. But what many people don't realize is that every year there is a large majority of Americans that actually pay zero in federal income tax, or might pay some federal income tax, but then when they get their tax refund, a refund on their taxes actually go down to zero. Yeah, as you can see here, in 2022, the 40% of households paid no income, no federal income taxes in 2022. 40% of Americans. Yeah. So just let that sink in a little bit. So a flat tax would actually increase taxes on 40% of Americans and would significantly raise taxes on a lot of people, even though they don't realize it. And when they realize it afterwards, it would be a significant change, although it would bring the US deficit down significantly, probably. And a lot of people would not be happy afterwards. Significantly, the lower income population would be the people that would actually pay more income taxes, believe it or not. Yeah, and a lot of the people would be people on Social Security, Medicaid, and things like that would be the people who would actually end up paying more money. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Iraq wants the U.S. military out after the U.S. attack on Friday. The Iraqi prime minister said that they would set up a dialogue to discuss the removal of the U.S. military presence in Iraq after the American strike killed the Iraqi militia leader in Baghdad the day prior. In an address, al-Sudani said the agreement under which the American troops are based in Iraq maintains the equal sovereignty of both countries, saying the U.S. strike violated that sovereignty. Quote, "We have repeatedly emphasized that in the event of a violation or transgression by an Iraqi party, if Iraqi law is violated, the Iraqi government is the only party that has the right to follow up on the merits of these violations." The prime minister said he was in the process of setting up a bilateral dialogue with the U.S. to discuss the removal of some 2,500 American troops in their country, Iraq. It is a commitment that the government will not back down from and will not neglect anything that would complete national sovereignty over land, sky, and waters of Iraq. However, the U.S. did this attack on this Iraqi militia leader because they say this was the source of a lot of the attacks that have been going towards U.S. military bases. Yeah, see the problem of a lot of this conflict in the area? Let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Also, I'm keeping you up to date here on new changes for 2024 that may make you or somebody you know save some money in one way or another. I'm keeping you up to date here on all sorts of changes here in upcoming videos. Soften the blow on student loan repayments with up to a $2,500 tax deduction. Tens of millions of Americans are now starting to have to pay interest on student loans, but you could save up to $2,500 tax deduction because of this. Here's how. Millions of Americans may feel burdened after restarting student loan payments in 2023, but there's an upside come tax season, and keep this in mind for upcoming years like 2024 and going forward. Interest on federal student loans began accruing again on September 1st, and the first payments were due in October for more than 40 million Americans. If you started repaying, you may be able to take a federal tax deduction on interest of up to $2,500, and you don't even need to itemize it on your taxes to take it. Yes. Make sure you know the income limits, who owns the loan, and who's making payments. If your parents claim you as a dependent, That way you know who, if anyone, can take the deduction. Tripping up on these could reduce your tax deduction down to 0. And the income limits are pretty decent. For tax year 2023, phased out single filers, 75,000, joint filers, 155,000. And there might even be a single filer head of household as well. Who can claim the deduction? If you aren't married and filing separately, no one else is claiming you as a dependent, you're legally obligated to pay interest, and you paid interest on a qualified student loan. In addition to the interest on federal and private loans, you can include loan origination fees, one-time fees charged by the lenders, and when a loan is made, the origination fee, and the fee must be used for money, not property or services, is treated as interest as well, capitalized interest, etc. So if you are in this situation, look up the details, even just Google it or ask somebody that knows about taxes. This is a relatively new thing because, student loans have been on hiatus and stuff. Share this video with anybody that you know that has student loans, friends or family. Look into this. I'm also going to be having more tips like this for 2024, more changes, not just for student loans, all sorts of things here in upcoming videos. So make sure to like and subscribe down below. There's a lot of new changes for 2024 coming up that could save you money, make you money, and things like that here. So I'll keep you up to date here. In fact, you can click here to see another video of millions of people that are going to be getting new payments just similar to this, or you can click here to watch my newest video next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.